Is raising concerns about toxic chemicals coming from the seats inside your car. Anna Werner has more on the findings and what you can do to protect yourself.
San Francisco's Vina Singla drives an electric car to help the environment, but hadn't thought much about the air inside her car.
I never realized there could be toxic chemicals. It was very surprising to me, to be honest.
About 2 years ago, she volunteered to participate in a study looking at drivers' exposure to flame retardants used on automobile seats to meet federal fire safety standards. She and 100 other car owners placed these silicone bands in their cars for a week to measure the levels of those chemicals in the air inside their vehicles.
I want to know what chemicals are in my car and if there's anything I can do to reduce my own exposures.
Now the results are in. The study finds vehicles are likely an important source of human exposure to potentially harmful flame retardants. Those most likely to be exposed: commuters, full-time vehicle drivers, and children, who the study says would also be at risk of greater exposure than adults for equivalent commuting times. The Green Science Policy Institute's Lydia Yall is one of the study's authors.
Does that mean that when you get in your car, you are going to be breathing these chemicals?
It does mean you'll be breathing the chemicals.
And they found levels of some of those chemicals were 2 to 5 times higher in summer as compared to winter.
In hotter temperatures, the chemicals are able to be released from the car materials more easily. And so you end up with higher concentrations.
So the hotter it gets, the more chemical you're likely to have.
Yes.
Researchers can't say precisely what the health effects might be from breathing in those flame retardants, but they note that a 2023 U.S. National Toxicology report found evidence of carcinogenic activity in rats and mice for the most frequently found chemical. They and others are calling for the federal flammability standard to be reevaluated, similar to how the standard for upholstered furniture was revised in 2021 to eliminate flame retardants. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which sets those standards, did not respond to our request for comment. But the International Association of Firefighters Union says most car fires come from car engines and accidents, not car interiors. And the chemicals also pose risks to firefighters. The union's Pat Morrison.
When you put those flame retardants in there and the fire is going, that's what we're breathing in. Some of the most toxic air that you will ever find anywhere.
Back in San Francisco, Vina Singla's test showed flame retardants too, which she says is frustrating.
We've made great strides in making our cars safer, over the decades. I just think we can do better and actually have healthier, safer cars.
In the meantime, the researchers recommend when you first get in your car, roll down the windows and let the air out.
Anna Werner, CBS News, San Francisco.